dangerous. We have to see. We never know. Because it's YouTube and everything like that. So we're gonna see if something turns up soon. I'm not sure how long it's gonna take, so just wait here. So I'm gonna see if something turns up. So. At least I got a notification about it. So yeah, there it is on YouTube. So I'm just gonna wait here to see what's going on because I don't know if someone turns up. But I have YouTube beside me, so I can watch that one too. And I also have Restream in front of me. And I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to talk about, but yeah, here I am. And Trevor wanted to take a nap, so I do this instead because it's not always nice or fun to go out by yourself in town and that type of things. It's better with having company. And he was too tired and it was a bit too late, so he'd rather take a nap. So we're gonna see which one turns up here. Gonna see. It would be fun sometimes to maybe do something together with friends too, but you never know. And I'm just mumbling here. I'm gonna soon start to eat something too, so probably gonna eat in front of you again. So, but right now I'm drinking. And today I have this apple and juice type of things. I do like this brand. It tastes very well and it's not that bad after having my type of surgery either. So I know that I can drink it without a problem. It's not directly calories in it either and no directly sugar in it too. So that's perfect for me. It's still a bit fizzy, so that's okay. So we do allow that type of thing. So I'm gonna see if someone turns up. Maybe some of my friends are awake, at least in the UK they should be. My American friends might be sleeping right now because it's in the middle of the day here. It's soon 22 afternoon PM. So I'm not sure which one gonna show up here. So if you want to talk with me, so just do it, but keep it respectful and clean because I don't like rude comments and that type of things. If you don't like off comments, especially from elder people, so it's better you move on than instead. So, but I just finished uploading a new video for next week, and I think of doing do-it-yourself video too. I'm gonna see what type of fabrics I have home because I said something in that video too about doing something for clothing. So, or if I have to go maybe out to other thrift fabrics or clothes with a certain type of fabrics I want to use because you can use old clothes for it too, so you recycle it that way. Or I maybe go to a store that sells different type of fabrics, and they usually have these type of things when people have bought a lot from different type of fabrics and they just have a little bit part left, so you can buy it much cheaper. So I can take a look if I can find something there, or maybe if the price is not too bad on fabrics, so might buy something with that. And what I was thinking about was making a skirt in that type of case. So there's still no one that is talking with me, so that's a bit hard. Let's see that if I can put up things so it's not strange sound. And there the bell went. That's the thing when you have things everywhere, so. And I didn't feel for putting up the backdrop now either, so I just keep it as it is. So still no one is talking, so I just have to sit here. Maybe I should do some crafting instead at the same time, so at least I keep myself busy when people are too shy maybe. Hi there. It sounds like you are into football. It's not my type of game, so but if you like golf and that type of thing, so welcome. So we have to see. And yeah, I haven't put on my glasses now either, but it doesn't matter. I still have my other screen here with my phone, so I can follow the chat even there. It shows a little more on what happens on YouTube too, so I'm gonna see if I can get every message there if there's something more coming up. I don't know. So yeah, where are you from then? I'm from Sweden. Maybe you can see that somewhere. I'm not sure, but I decided to keep that way. So, so what are you people doing today? Are you doing something fun? The weather is a bit better today, at least. It started getting warmer, so I'm happy for that. That means that it's not that bad for my body either, because I have fibromyalgia, so some type of weather can give you more pain when the weather is bad. So I'm happy that the weather is much better right now. But else, this morning I actually found a lot of new music on YouTube. So this weekend seems like a lot of different artists actually have released new videos. So I'm happy for that. Darkways is one of my favorite bands that have done it. And then I found some other bands too that have done the same. So I'm happy. Hello, Cookie. How are you? I'm doing fine here at least. So gonna see how many that turns up because Trevor wanted to take a nap, so I'll stay here and was hoping that my friends on YouTube should maybe make some appearance in the chat too. Because it was either that or start creating things, but it's easy that when you start creating things that it can be a bit noisy too. So I thought that I should not do too much. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I just made me this way because I did a video too about giving some inspiration for people that is new to the scene, maybe not that secure on their own style, and to show that you might not have to be the most extreme to still dress goth, and it's just about to find the way that works for you and that you feel confident and confident to. So I choose to made it a bit simpler in that type of way. Oh, thank you. I don't feel like that, but thank you very much. So I thought it should be an inspiration and I could put together some things. And it's not that maybe you see everything I have, but I have at least two drifted things on me. Hello, Sing. Welcome. What are you doing today? Are you doing something special? I'm not doing that much today. I have done a video and I did fight with my editor program. I had to give up with the one I usually use because it's refused to save it. So I had to redo everything in a new program and start all over again. So you're on the bus. Where are you going? Was it something to do with test or are you doing something fun? Because I know that it's not always fun things on the schedule. So I'm not going directly anywhere today. We might watch a movie later, so we got some new films we can watch. So we're gonna see what's that gonna end up. But we're gonna have some good food with it and everything like that. So that's good. And I'm happy that I could do a new video too. So I have something for next week too. So it's not so stressful that you need to do it all the same week. Because sometimes I pre-upload some things, but because I'm on a low buy status right now, if I don't find something special, so that means that I can't do so much hauls, and then it's a little harder to do videos that many people are interested of because it's the hauls that goes best, at least if you talk about golf. Sadly, because it should be the music and everything around it that should be that. Coming back from the Dracula market and get a lot of cakes and bread from the charity shop for free. Oh, that was awesome. Why did they give away everything for free? But did you see something more interesting? Because it sounds very interesting with having a Dracula market. And hello, Rick. How are you? So I see that at least some of the UK friends are here. So that was nice. Uh, like I said, I had done a video about inspiration, and I also planning on doing an inspiration do it yourself with actually creating something a little more simple that hopefully people should dare try too. But I want to see if I have the right fabrics at home or if I need to buy something. Maybe find the clothing that is on a thrift shop or something, so I can actually use the fabrics for it. You have no idea. No, at least you got it for free, so you can't really complain, can you? So that's good. Uh, it's always good to have things for free, that type of thing. That saves some pennies too, I guess. See if there's someone else to talk right now. I'm waiting for see if someone else is writing something, but yeah. So I'm just sitting here. A lot of good music, like I said before, and I'm happy for that because it's always amazing to find new bands or something. I even find a new band this weekend, so I'm happy. And of course, some of the bands I do love already released good stuff too. I even find metal music for the people that like metal, but I didn't post in my community tab, but I did send links to my travel because he's a metalhead. I'm the goth one in the family, so but I can listen to metal music too sometimes. So we have to see what's going on. So do you have any plans, Rick or Sing? Are you doing something more this weekend or just chill? Like I said before, I try to keep my mind on something else than the bad news that I had to deal with this year. But I just saw two new jobs that might be interesting to apply for, so I'm gonna try for them too. But it's still my age, so if they don't discriminate people for being older, so I'm gonna try at least. So oh, that's a shame, thing. And did you buy something on the market then, or just taking a look, window shopping, like we call it? Oh, it's broken down. That's not bad. And does that mean that you have to wait for a replacement bus or something, or is it still too far away from where you live? Because that can happen. It can happen anyone. So I guess. Maybe not the perfect timing, maybe all the time. So I hope you don't have too much things to do in a certain time, so you're gonna be delayed or something. Mm. And I still was hoping that maybe some of my friends want to join in a video or live stream where we can do something together because it's easy. Then you don't have to be the only one that's sitting down and talking. You can also discuss different subjects maybe about the goth subculture itself and other type of things. So, but right now I'm just chilling, taking it easy, and just see how things goes. Uh, no, no driver is calling head office. Yeah, I guess he's a bit frustrating or she. Yeah. You got a necklace and two badges. What is the badges? Is the band badges or something else? And what type of necklace? I do like that type of. You can never have too much of that, especially badges. But you can put that on your jackets and that type of things too. So that's perfect. Uh, I have some. My wheat jackets have not that much things on it, but I have some other jackets when I put all the patches and badges and pins on. So that can give you a statement if people want to know what you like, especially when it comes to music too. So you can show it very easy that type of way. So. And it's usually not that expensive to buy either, so you can afford to buy it even if you have a low budget. So I was watching the video from Lady Rowena when she went to those gothic stores and everything, and it looks amazing. I wish we had that type of things over here too. That should be so fun to go around. Even if I couldn't be able to shop, there's still lots of things to walk to look at and that type of things. Dracula and Count Dracula badges. Oh, sounds perfect. Sounds perfect. Never have too many. There's little like pins and other type of things. So you're more you marry. If it's, if you know what I mean. So I'm happy for that type of things. I'm happy you found something. So See if someone else is turning on. Nothing new directly. It's very quiet. But I appreciate you saying at least that you are that active in the chat. I guess you don't have that much to do when you're stuck on the bus too, especially if it broke down just keep yourself entertained. So and I'm thinking of doing some more do-it-yourself project too. I started one. I can go and pick it up. So if you wait a bit, it's behind me because I have my desk back here. And that means that you maybe can see a little more my outfit. I have this thrifted shawl on me too and a thrifted dress. So I thought I have started a new project. I needed some help with from travel to put a coat on it because it didn't want to dry the FX blood I used. So next time I'm gonna probably try to use nail polish or something else because it refused to dry. But I made this ank. Let's see if you can see it this way. This is made by wire, and I put those type of things on the ends. Don't mind my rubbish nails, I haven't fixed them. And there you got the rose. See if I can get it to focus a little better. And here you can see the size. So I was thinking of if you do like a necklace or something, so or you can use it when you do home decoration. You can get a frame or something, add it on, and even glue other type of things and make it pop like a wall decoration in that type of way. So let's see what we have to say here, and we have to get on the next bus that comes. Okay, hope it's not gonna take too long then sitting, so you don't have to be stuck there for a very long time. Oh, thank you very much, Rick. And this is actually not that hard to do. It's actually just the wires I have twinned, and then I did done in a certain symbol like an egg, and I glue on those end caps on it to make it a little pop on the three different points. So, and it's always nice to be creative and do your own stuff too. Thank you very much, Cookie. So it's nice. So I was thinking of maybe do a little smaller version because maybe it was a little too big, but this one I can actually use as a home decoration. And like I said, if you use like a darker background, like on a small frame or something, and then you add other stuff around it too, that can make things pop. So you can make like your own gothic wall decoration that type of way. So I like to do that type of things, but I need to buy more wire too if I'm gonna continue. And if you're gonna do it better and make it even harder, so you should need to hammer the metal too, so it's not that easy to bend it because you can still bend it very easy if you want to. But if you use a hammer, so then you can get the metal to be a little harder. It's a little hard to explain, but if you watch that type of channels that do wire jewelry, they're gonna explain that type of things too. Especially when you do rings and that type of thing and some type of bracelets, it could be good to hammer them too. Hello, Star Raven. I don't know if you were here in time to see one of my projects I started with. Doing this, you can see the size on it. So I was talking about that, was thinking about doing that like a necklace, but this might be a little bit big for the most moments. So I might do that for a wall decoration, use like a frame in the background and add some other stuff and do a smaller version that where I maybe even hammer the metal so it's going a little harder because that's how the wires react. When you hammer them, they're gonna go harder. So your friend does firework. Yeah, it's very fun and very easy to change things with wires, and you have all type of that. You can buy copper ones in different colors too. So if you like colors, you can do them in different colors as well. Especially when you do this twin, so you can have that effect. I have done it with a black wire and this silver type of things too. And of course, you have some that have real really good shine on the silver too, so it looks even better and it's even harder. And I usually use the more harder wires when I'm gonna connect beads, like when you do a rosary, like necklaces, like I have now. So when I do those things that go through the different beads, then I use a harder wire for doing that type of connection. So this is actually a rosary one that I have made myself. So and it's an easy way to do your own accessories in that type of way. So what are you up to today, Star? And how are you doing? Are you doing better? Are you feeling some difference now since a week back in time? That you're getting stronger, get more energy and that type of things? Because I know that they have gone some time now, and maybe you got your strength start coming back, and that's would be great if you started to go feeling better. I still waited to hear um, what the surgeon gonna tell about if I'm gonna be approved. But I'm a little afraid that this thing, if I get approved for a surgery, gonna be too late with what everything goes on at work. So everything depends on if I have work, if I can do the surgery or not. I should be very angry if it ended up that I have to say no because. This is probably one of the last chances for me to get it for free because I'm old too, so they don't do those type of surgeries after a certain age either because it starts getting harder to heal the skin and that type of thing. So I hope that's gonna be sorted. See what if people say something new. I don't see directly anything new. So and yeah, I was watching Countess this morning too. So this weekend been a lot of lives actually. It was oh my god, that is Yanni did live yesterday. I did a live yesterday too, so it's actually my second live this weekend. So I guess I've been busy with lives for a change. But I thought, okay, I can do that when I don't do anything else. So it's just a shame that you can't do with music and everything like that if you don't use AM music. But I didn't feel for putting on AM music now either. So sorry if it's me just mumbling instead. So you have to take that. See if someone else is saying something. It's quiet in the chat. So I just waiting and waiting. Like I said before, I'm gonna try to find a little more fabrics. I have some fabrics, but I'm not sure if that's the right thing for the project I'm thinking of doing. So I have other things in mind too, and I have promised to do it yourself video too when I did this bag for my Oracle deck too. But that is not hard to do really. So I thought that I wanted to do something that had more to do with the clothing part of things to make people try to do something. And my thought was that doing a simple type of skirt that don't need a pattern should be a perfect way to show that you can do something with it, a little more witchy type of vibe instead. So nothing new here. I wonder where story maybe disappeared again. I don't know. Maybe I missed something or I didn't see any answer back. So, but yeah. There's not much happening, and the thrift shop I should want to go to is only open Saturdays, but it started getting late and they're gonna close soon too. And that's a shame because when I'm off work, it's only Saturday they are open, but they are not open that long. So if you're gonna do other things during the day, you have to go early in. And the worst thing that I often work too late, so I don't have any time to rush there even after work. So, and you don't really want to rush when you want to find things. You want to go there if they have something because our gift shop is not that big. So, but you still have to look so you don't miss something. Hello, Janet. Nice to see you. How are you? And been a while since you were in the chat, so getting off the bus at the next stop. Okay, have a nice day and catch you a little later. Then I hope everything goes well soon. So yeah, I'm just sitting here and mumbling. I'm soon gonna have to start eating something because it's gonna take some while before it's time for the dinner too. Because we are often eating a little later when it's Saturdays, and we were thinking of watching some film or something. We got actually the latest Silent Hill movie too, so and I had different type of reviews on it too. I'm gonna give it a go. Try to have an open mind too, so I don't judge it before because so many people have put it down and that it shouldn't be a bad movie. But you never know. If you don't go in with too high expectation, you might think it's better than the most people. So it's like all people have different taste in things too. So, but I think it's good. Maybe next time, next person thinks sucks. So it's a little like music too. What I like, maybe next person don't like either. And it's a little like when you're working and I have to listen to the mainstream music on the radio. So the most of the people like that music, but I've usually said that that's really not my taste. But I can't choose. I have to listen to what everybody else is doing. Oh, thank you very much, Janet. Is the open solution. So you have what you see in the background is really with the kitchen area. So if you go to the other direction, you're gonna see the living room space. So yeah, we only have one bedroom here, and right now Trevor is there and taking a nap. So, but it's a modern type of flat with an open solution that many people have here in Sweden. If you live in a flat, at least. So, and of course, I have some of my decorations. We are not allowed to change the coloring of the walls and something like that. So it's just no wallpaper. It's just this white type of walls and white concrete walls. So it can be a little hard to get something up on the walls too, on because it's not many of the walls that are that soft, so it's easy to put something up either. So you have to buy those special type of things if it's just frames or something, so you can stuck them on the wall without having a nail or something. So, but I'm happy you like the angle too, because I usually don't do this angle, as you know, not even on my videos. I do prefer horizontal, not horizontal, but vertical. That type of, no, it's horizontal, no vertical. An outing, but I can drink a little before, so it's not. I'm not gonna eat that much. I'm gonna just take this little snack that we call corny, and it's not that much protein in it, but at least this bit gonna give me some protein. So it's actually 6 gram of protein in this little bar, but that make me last till dinner time. So and it's protein that is the most important for me. And they have different tastes in that. I had tried the one with the banana and that type of things too. And the one something else that I don't remember. There was this pink package on, but I didn't like that one. But the banana worked fine for me. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I usually have a backdrop so people don't see the background, but if you go behind, you're gonna have my crafting station right there. And if you pass around the corner, because the kitchen pot goes out a bit from the wall, so there you got the Trevor's crafting pot where he's sitting and do his painting with a airbrush and do his models and that type of thing. So different aircrafts and whatever he do, cars and motorcycles and that type of thing. So Viking ship he had done too. So, but I do mainly jewelry and that type of things. But if I sit and sewing or something, I often sit by the other part because if I put up my sewing machine and that, I can't put it there because the half of the table is his crafting station and the other half is mine. So we don't really eat by the kitchen table. We actually eat by the sofa instead. So, but there's many people that do it in Sweden because usually you have your TV or something there and you take a look at the telly at the same time and that works for us. We don't really have to have that type of thing. So what are you up to today, Janet? Are you doing something special, or are you working or something? Because I don't know. Sometimes you're working even during weekends, if I understand it right. So, mm, so you're gonna see. I'm not sure what people want to talk about that is here. I'm not sure. Some people are here and talking, but other people are just here and looking. Maybe they are curious. And I open my corner right now. It looks like this, and it's a little like hard in that type of way. So you can break it in bits, and it looks like this. Yeah, that's a great goal. I try to keep up to around 80 to 100 grams of protein every day. And I usually have a lot in the other meals, but when I have just like a snack in the middle of the day, so if there is at least some grams of it, so that's good too. So it's better than nothing. And I know this don't have any added sugar in it too, in that type of thing, so it works for me too. I don't go down sick, so it's perfect. And it's a little crunchy too. So sorry if I'm eating here. Maybe there's some people that like that. Hmm. But like I said, that recently I started to lose weight again. I haven't done anything to do with that, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's the weather, combination with the stress from work, with what's going on there, and that affects my weight, or if something else is going on. Because you never know with the body when you do done this type of surgery. So, but I don't really want to lose more because I thought I had good weight before. So I want to keep it that way. I don't want to be too skinny that type of way because I'm gonna look sick very fast in that type of case, and I don't want that. So, hmm. And by the way, I can show the picture that I got. I think I have showed it when I got it, but it's from my friend Marissa that lives in Stockholm. She's used to live in Australia, but I got this for Gothmas. But I do love. It looks like Susie Sue, doesn't it? It's a very pretty picture, and it's sitting here on my shelf like a decoration together with my spooky doll and that type of thing. So it's perfect. My pub had a seizure while I was on business trip. He's going down here at hospital. Ah, I'm really sorry to hear that, Janet. That's a very hard decision to take, and I feel for you because I know how it feels for because I had that type of decision to make myself. I think the most hardest was when I had my greyhound Iris, and she started to be that old and started to have like a dementia type of behavior too. And she struggled with the stairs. We didn't have an elevator where we lived, so it was hard for her, even hard to go out and do her things outside. So I needed to take this decision to. It was actually time to say goodbye, and it's hard. And I know that we also had when I was a kid, we had this Wiener dog, what they called Jeppe, and he went sick too. We thought first that he had some kind of epilepsy because he had that type of thing going on. But it showed that it was caused by his heart. He had this type of heart condition that if you didn't see the plates from the X-ray, you shouldn't believe it. But I went there with the dog to the vet station and I took the X-rays. And the vet said, "Can you see where his heart is?" And I was looking at the X-rays and I'm thinking either I'm stupid or something, or everything is just black. I said to the vet, and he said, "It's actually the heart. So it's not you that is stupid. It's that the heart that had this condition has started to grow, and when it grows, everything went downhill too, and that caused his epilepsy type of things." and he started to get so sick, and he refused to take the medication too. So we had to put him down too. And they did it while I was in school too. So I was really sad when I came home and didn't find the dog. I know he was sick and everything, but I was very angry that they took the decision and took him there. So I couldn't say goodbye. So yeah. It's the thing. We know that there's something going on, and probably the dog knows too, and it's still a family member, so it's a hard thing to deal with. And when you had them for so long time too, so it's even harder, I guess. So, and I know that when Trevor's mom, mm, she used to have two cocker spaniels before, uh, Poppy and Lady. And Lady was the daughter to Poppy, and Poppy was my favorite. And the first we had that year, we were first thinking of that maybe we should take over her because she was not that good. But we didn't think she should manage to travel over to Sweden because she had to go in that type of case because it's from UK. So she had to go with this type of cargo aircraft, and we didn't want to do that with her, and that should stress her out. So we decided that it's better for Trevor's mom to keep her. But then we got the thing that she started to go downhill too, and I cried for that. And I think it was last year, even Lady had to be taken down because she started to go bad too. So now Trevor's mom don't have any dog at all. So it's a bit empty when we know that next time we go there, it's not gonna be any dog at all because I'm used to take them out for walks because I miss that part with having a pet and take a walks. And even if you're feeling restless, you don't have to force a friend or someone else to make you company to get out because it's very boring sometimes to go out on yourself. You can always take the dog with you, and the dog gonna like it anyway. So it's a good company. So I miss that part of life too. But because of the prices when it comes to vet cost and insurance and that type of things, I can't really afford it right now because it's ridiculous expensive over here at least. I don't know how it is in US, but here is ridiculous expensive. And you don't want to take a risk that if something happened with your dog that you can't afford. And I even saw people that have been forced to pay out a very big bill when they're taking down the dog, and they didn't believe the cost for it. And another girl, the boss in the news, that she had to sell her house to afford to pay for the surgery her dog had. So it's so expensive. Uh, Yeah, but that's the way they like to do. And my bit of love, I had the dogs too when I was younger. They loved to go in the car because they knew that if I follow, we're gonna all be in the same place. And they were very calm and everything like that, and good to handle in the car too. So I understand it totally, Janet. It's nothing you really have to explain that type of way because I have that type of dogs too that love to go in the cars. So. It looks a little different on that screen. Mhm. Sorry for eating. Hmm. But I hope your dog don't want to gonna suffer something. I know that you're gonna make the right decision when the time coming. So it's hard, even if you know it's for the best. But it's always hard. It's a family member, and if you had it for so many years too, so it's not gonna make it easier either because you're so used to have it there and the time after when everything is empty maybe I still have all the things and the shows. Yeah, I do understand that you want to do the best, so it's nothing you have to excuse if you feel sad. It's natural, it's very natural in that type of case. So I don't blame you in that type of thing, and I know that you are a wise person, so you know when the time is coming when you can't wait longer. At least our pets have the possibility when it reach that type of stage. So if it's start to be too much of everything in a bad way, so at least they have that alternative. It's worse if you're a human being and don't have the shows, you're behind saving, and you know that it's gonna be terrible, and you have some type of sickness too. So there's gonna be a big suffering, and gonna be a terrible end. So I wish that it should be approved to have that. If you are clear in your mind and everything like that, at least you could sign a paper back then, so you could have the possibility to, but not that someone else gonna tell that they're gonna do it. It's your choice in that type of case. And if you are beyond saving and the pain gonna be too bad, or your lungs gonna stop working and that type of thing, so you don't get any air and that type of thing and die a very terrible death instead. So I should want to have the possibility too as a human being, but not be because someone maybe wants some organs or something. Now I'm hopefully too old for people have wanted my organs, but you never know if you're young. They can have this black market too. I've seen so many things now when they have showed the hospitals and that type of things. They have this hidden market for organs, and they go after the people that don't have any relatives, because then no one can ask about you after either. So that's terrible to see that there's actually some people that try to earn money on people's organs. So they're even prepared to kill people that is nothing wrong with. Yeah, it's always tough with that type of things when you can't affect anything. So I think it's hard too. So and some things you can't do anything about. So that's the life cycle. We are born and then we have to die still. So some lives longer, some shorter, and then depending on what you are, also gonna affect how long you're gonna live. So, but I hope you're not gonna feel too bad and just enjoy the time you still have with your friend, your dog. So just take care about the dog the best you can. That's the only thing that matters. So don't feel like you're doing something wrong with some of the thoughts or something, because they're always gonna be there. It's just natural. So you don't have to excuse that type of things or feelings, because that's natural. If you love your pet like a family member, so I understand. For me, pets is family members. For some people, it's just an animal. But I'm not sure those people are worth to have a pet either in that type of case if they feel that way. So, if you know what I mean. So, wonder which people that are watching here, because I see that there's a lot of other people in sometimes, but no one is writing. Yes, you're right about the harvesting of organs. I'm glad that my pup's life is understood. You know what I mean? Yeah, I do. And yeah, I think it's terrible when you got this news. They even show the people that are escaping from this type of things that succeeded in some type of way get away from these things. At first, the police and that type of things didn't believe them, but when they did this thing towards the place, they found more people that was on the way that was put in so they couldn't move and that type of thing. So and they were on the way to harvest the people, and that is terrible. So I don't get it how some people are working, and that money should be so much more worth than a human being, because we should be equal in that type of way. No one is more worth than the other person. We should be just the same, and no one should try to steal your organs for selling them on the black market to rich people. Rich people should be in a queue like everyone else. No one should go before. No one should be decided who's gonna have the things or not. Because I know people that are refused to getting the help too, and I even know here in Sweden is not far away from where I live. So he got a very bad lung disease, and he already have a lung transplantation and everything, and now the specialist refused to give him more help, and he don't even have energy to do anything at home. But and they don't want to do anything, and it's a very it's like having some of those terrible sickness too when you go that bad. And this is an alternative guy too that is into golf and that type of things too. So that's why I know with this person. And this person even tried to research about things, tried to say that I know they have more things. They are doing experiment in Germany, I think it was, about giving transplantation of another type of that is not human organs. And he was willing to actually sign up for a contract for that to be the maybe the first human being for that experiment. If that should work, he should happily sacrifice himself for that because what's going on right now is just painful and going to be harder and harder for each day. And to not get any air in the system where your lung don't work anymore, that is terrible. So, but he was refused even to do that. They didn't even want to help him to do that and go to Germany and get this help from those things, people that do those researches about things and try to find an alternative for people in that type of condition. So I think sometimes they put a price on your head, and if you're not the right person, they don't think you're worth anything. So you just have to suffer. Yeah, they really have scary ideas to rich people, and I think that's why the world looks like it does too, because they don't care about ordinary people. They just want to do their own thing and have all the money and all the luxury. They don't care. They want to have it all. They don't want to share. So, whilst ordinary people try to even pay the bills and have a roof over the head and that, and they still have a lot of people that are homeless and that's not because they are druggies or something. It's just because they maybe don't have any job anymore. They can't afford anything. They're being bankrupt. They've gone through a divorce, whatever. Or maybe your partner died or something. And a lot of that different things can go wrong. You maybe got this health issue, so you couldn't work, and then suddenly you don't have the money either. So don't judge a person that is homeless either because you don't know the circumstances. It could be whoever next day. We can everybody be in the same position one day. It's just the rich people that don't never gonna end up in that way if nothing happens with them that is more serious. No, they can't relate. I don't think they can relate. It's like the politicians too. They always tell people how they should act and that type of things, but they have never lived the ordinary. It's very rare that you see politicians that comes from the same similar background like the most people have. So they can't really put them in. That's why they don't tax the rich people in the same way. And we have that. If you took all the more richer people and everything like that, if they started to pay some similar type of thing in tax and that type of thing, that should make a big difference. Even when it comes to healthcare and whatever, it should protect so much more people in that type of way. So, but they refuse because they want to keep all the money. They don't want to pay tax, but the people that don't earn that much money still have to pay much more in compare. If you take the normal salary compare with the rich person's salary, so it's ridiculous. They don't pay anything almost to compare with an ordinary worker, so it's ridiculous. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it's important because if I need to apply for a new job and it's not even in this town, or if I get a replacement, it's going to be a lot of traveling, and the buses to some places are ridiculous, so it's not going to work. So I need a car to be able to go anywhere, and my car is cheap to own and everything like that. The tax is cheap, and it don't take that much fuel and everything. And if it went through the MOT, that means that I can drive for 14 more months without a problem before it's time for next one. So So it's just look after all the bits and pieces that can break on a car, or are the usual one you have to change anyway during a certain period. So I'm happy for that, and the tires is still good both for the winter and for the summer. So I don't have to think about the bigger cost for that type of things too. Because in Sweden we have to have the winter tires during the winter season, so we have a special type of rules for that too. So. But hopefully we got spring soon because now it started to go away. We have just a little piles with snow on some places and some icy parts, but the most have already gone since it rained yesterday. So it's melting very fast right now. So I hope we got spring weather soon. That should be awesome because I'm so tired of this cold weather and all the snow and ice we had for weeks now. So it's even cold at my work. So we're freezing inside. It's ridiculous. So So I'm happy that my little car passed. So I wish I could have a bigger car, but it makes it work. It takes me from one point to another one without problem. So mhm. Let's see. I can't see how long I've been streaming for. Hello, Grimly. How are you? I'm just trying to entertain myself whilst Trevor's taking a nap before we're gonna have dinner and watching a movie, probably. Oh, thank you very much, Jan, and I hope so too. But right now we don't know that much. We know that next Friday 2 p.m. they're gonna start to do all this discussion between the company and the unions, the two different unions, because some union is for the office people and some of for the people that are like me. And then they're gonna go through every individual, look at our skills and how long we've been at the company and all that type of things, and then it's gonna start that. And if they have any possible, depending on how many of the customers we have, if they can move that into another warehouse close to us, it might be a replacement for some, but we don't know which people they're gonna get us offer. I hope that I should get one, hopefully, because I know that some people want to start study that is much younger and that type of thing. They don't see any future in that type of thing. So, but if I get offer, I'm gonna accept it, even if I have to travel a bit longer. So, mhm. I'm doing fine today. Thank you very much, Grimly. I try to get focused on little more positive vibes for the moment. So I'm not just looking at my future for the moment because it's a little dark. And it's a little dark still when it comes to travel. He's gonna have to wait a bit longer because his company lost the contract till next year in March, I think. Then a new company gonna take over the buses. So no one knows if gonna be transferred to the new company or if some gonna stay inside the company they already are, but that is just for a few years, or if they have to apply for a new job. So hello, Singh, welcome back. Are you on the bus again or are you back at home already? Because I don't know how far you went on your trip back home. So, but yeah, the future is looking a bit dark for me moment when it comes work related, and that means that the most of my plans went down directly. It was a shock when I got the phone call that day I was off, and I guess the vibe was even worse for the people that was at work when they were gathering because some people thought it was for some type of celebration because the company gonna have a certain celebration to looking forward to. But there was some that have this feeling that we don't think it's anything good. And the vibe we have at work right now is very strange. We are doing our work, but it's not the same as it was before because everybody knows that there's a limit on it, and we don't know when it starts. So no, it's only safe this year out and maybe January and February. I don't know if it was included in March too. That's the problem. So we are actually two persons that need to have a job. if he's lucky, he can be transferred to maybe the new company or stay inside at least for some years. But in our age, I should prefer him to have the new company, because the contract for the city buses is for 10 years. And that means if you have your foot inside that company, you're going to have work at least till you're pensioner and that type of thing. So when it's time for pension, so I'd rather have that deal for him, but it's still up to him what he picks up. But I don't know myself, and I don't know if my work lasts to a new year, or if I get paid after New Year, or if I have to finish before New Year. So that's how they did. I know that I have 6 months before they need to tell me about my last date, because I've been so long at my work. So at least I know I have 6 months. The day they tell me is the last bit of my contract to do. So when we have that conversation at work, so then I know it's finished for real. So it's a bit hard to take, and it's not that easy. I have tried to apply for some works. I applied for 4. That was not just summer jobs or just temporary ones. And of the 4 ones, I only got answers back from 2. One was definitely no, because they choose someone else, and the other one said you were not in this time, but we want to see you apply again if you want to. So I can make a new try there if they haven't got enough people, and reapply for that type of job too. And they're still going to travel a bit too. So but I saw 2 other ads today about work, so I might look into applying for them too. The worst thing they can go is that I got a no, and in the worst case, I might have to study for something and go with shorter education, maybe up to 2 years or something. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Janet. Yeah, it's not easy, especially when you reach a certain age too. They say you are not allowed to discriminate. I know it's hard even for youngsters to get a job, but it don't make it easy when you pass certain levels and they even refuse to take you in or look. Or they have those crazy tests on the internet that you have to fill in that have nothing to do with the work itself. Don't gonna show how you are like a worker or something. If you're a gamer or something, yeah, that works very fine if you're gonna have a gaming type of work, but it's not what you apply for. You apply for a work when you're gonna do something physical. How can I do know the difference if I'm a good gamer and doing all that type of movements on a test, or when I do my real work, when I'm lifting and doing everything and how fast or whatever I am, and don't do much wrong either. So very little on that type of mistakes. So they don't really know that. They just assume that I'm slow, not willing to learn something because I'm older and that type of things. And that's discrimination. So it's not allowed, but it still happens. And I know they have written articles about that, but they need to do some laws about it too. So they need to take it down. So it doesn't matter about your age when it comes to that. You should have the same attitude towards you when it comes to. But some people don't understand that type of things. But we that is elder in that situation, we know that, because we know the difference, especially when you compare when back in the days. And I said, in the end of the 80s and the start of the 90s especially, it was so easy to get jobs. You couldn't just call the company and they said, okay, come here and test. And there were people that were coming to the companies, just worked one day and said, no, this was not for me, bye-bye, and I went. So it was crazy times. You could get a job as long as you wanted to work. But nowadays, when so many don't have a job too, so you're fighting towards so many, and it's not as many job offers as there are people without jobs. And they still try to say that people are lazy that don't have work. So that's ridiculous. Hello, Nikki. How are you? How did your things going yesterday? Mm. So yeah, there's so much things that you have to calculate with, and that's frustrating. And to win on a lottery is so ridiculous hard too. So. Mm. I'm sorry for eating. I try to hide myself behind my fingers. Mm. I think it's a little shame that I don't see how long I've been streaming for. There's nothing that tells me even on Restream how long I've been doing this. Because maybe it's soon time to start prep for the food to not get. We're eating around 4, so and some bits are already prepped for it. So, what are you doing in Stockholm then, Janet? But it's a long way to 2027. It's over a year till then. Miss Marzipan is from Stockholm, so um, it's the capital town. There's a lot of things to watch there, but myself personally don't like Stockholm. I prefer Gothenburg. It's closer to me. Stockholm feels more stressful, and they also have this attitude that they are much better than everybody else because it's the capital town. So they like patting your head or something that you come. Even from if you came from like Gothenburg, unless you look like you work from the countryside, even if Gothenburg is the second biggest town or city in Sweden. Conference. Oh, that sounds important if you have to go all the way to Sweden. Yeah. And I've been to Stockholm. I had friends in Stockholm too, so it's not that I haven't been there. And I know there is a great thing to watch there too. You have the Viking Museum that I can recommend. And of course, you have the Vasa Museum, and those both are very close to each other. So if you are on the one of the places, it's not that far away to go to the next. And you also have their amusement park, the Gröna Lund, not far away. Right? So everything is in that walking distance over there. So it's a lot of things to do when you are in Stockholm too. So, but like I said, I prefer Gothenburg. It's a bit more friendlier. And Gothenburg have the second nickname like a little London. So if you like London in UK, you're gonna love um, Gothenburg too. And it's always funny when you are in Gothenburg because you hear so much English there from different type of English spoken countries. Because people are from everywhere. You can hear Australia, Canada, UK, US, whatever, everything where they talk Irish, Ireland. So everything. There's so much English going on in Gothenburg. So always when we get there, so you can hear English all the time. So sit down. That sounded great. It's not always that nice to stand up, but sometimes, at least when you take the city buses, I mainly many times prefer to stand up too because it's easy to get access out, especially if there's lots of people on the bus. So you don't have to try to crawl over other people that is in the way if you're sitting in the wrong seat. Hmm. That's amazing. Switzerland 1 year and Italy next. Hmm. At least you know the difference between Switzerland and Sweden then because the many Americans are actually mixing up Switzerland and Sweden and think they are the same country. So, but because you've been in all countries, even Sweden, so that means that you know the difference then, Janet. So, but you are traveling a lot in your position too. Isn't is that funny or is it feels hard or something or you don't mind to travel that much? I'm not sure I should want to travel too much in my work too because that means that I have to go away from the things I know best. It's one thing if you go for vacation or something, but travel all the time when you don't know how long things gonna take and flights and everything like that. But I guess you are professional when it comes to airports then. Yeah, it's a hilarious, hilarious difference. But I think it's interesting that it's so many people don't know the difference, especially when they are in school and that type of things. I thought that was something they were told in school about because we were when I was a kid. We had to learn about the different states in the US, even if I don't remember everything right now because it's so many years back in that. But we had tests on that type of things too. Yeah. Was that during the first year you were going back on a horseback riding again? Because I know that can be very painful for the legs if you have been for a time. So, you love to travel. I guess it's something you need to do then, Janet, because else it should be very hard to have your work. I think it's hard enough with travel when it comes to just vacation time. That is enough for me. I hate aircrafts. Not aircraft itself, but airports, especially the safety check now. I understand that some of the bigger ones, at least in some countries now, started to have easier rules when it comes to your bags and that type of thing, so you don't have to check everything in the safety. So that's good that they start to do that type of things, but it's not every airport that have the same thing. So you have to watch out before, so you know that just because it works in one doesn't mean it works on the next one, and especially if you have to change and go to another country first before you reach your end destiny. Yes, and stubborn horse. I understand that thing because my first horse was a very stubborn horse too. So, hmm. So you should be able to at least tell people about the difference from where you're living and that type of things too. So you can see the lives that goes on in other countries too, and say that the American way is not always maybe the best, even if you probably have some things that is better, but at least you can tell those people that don't believe it. So have you never been on a plane? I think it's a great way to travel. Maybe not for the environment, but if you want to go somewhere that is far away. I have been a backpacker on train too when I was younger, but that takes so much more longer, and you can never know if you're gonna have a seat place or something, especially when you go through Italy. That can be very much people on the train, and you might have to stand up with all your packing too. So, but it's also a good way to see different countries too. Go by train, mm. and I'm not against to try to do that in the future too. To try to travel because then you can bring things in another type of way with you in your luggage. You don't restrict it with the weight in the same type of way like you are on an aircraft or the size of your luggage and that type of thing. Mm. But it's really like and some people say they don't have a mobile phone too. We have one at work that refused having a mobile phone, never had it. So it's actually very interesting to see that it's actually people that refuse to do some type of things too that people take for granted that most people have done or have. So I never stop getting amazed about that fact that those things can happen really. So hmm. Let's see if there's someone else that's writing something I missed, but I don't think so. Hmm. You can show a little bat. Are you cooking? What are you gonna eat then, Nikki? We're gonna have chicken with rice and veggies and have sweet sour chili sauce with it. So I'm looking forward to do that dinner. So that is the type of food that I do love. So So what are you having today then? Yeah, I'm still getting amazed even when they ask things about the US itself. I see those that goes around in the US and ask youngsters especially about things, and I'm so amazed that you go through different type of education. You have reached a certain type of age, but you can't even a simpler type of things. You're happy if you know even your own state in that type of way. So I'm a little shocked when they can't even know the difference between a country and a continent, for an example. So at least that should be something easy to learn and remember. So steak and chips, pepper sauce. Our pepper sauce is amazing to have with the steak too. So um, mhm. Mm. Shouldn't mind that, but I don't eat that much steak. It's more like something that Trevor would love more, but I prefer a little easy type of meat because I can have sometimes struggle with eating that type of things. And after my surgery, it's very important that it's something that works for me very well because I have to chew food a little bit more. And I guess that is even harder because I don't have a stomach that take care about the food. So can you understand that, Janet? There are actually people that don't travel directly. So, but I guess if you found the place you want to be, so you don't have to travel if everything is in the closest areas and everything like that. So, and it took me a very long time too before I was traveling. If you don't count with going back out to Finland or Norway or Denmark, for an example, because that's another story. I don't count them in like traveling in that type of way because it's easy to get just a few days by car to Finland. Uh, Same day you can end up in Norway. Same day you end up in Denmark. So it's a complete different story. You can still reach them very fast. But when it comes to travel abroad to other type of countries, I was actually 15 years old when I went first time to Rhodos with my class. We had collected money for some years to this trip, and after we finished that year in school, we went to that every student then. So, and then when I was a little older, I went with a friend in school to Lanzarote. It is one of the Canary Island. I did love that place, and I was he also asked to if I wanted to stay and work as a bartender, but I said that I don't think my parents should allow that because I had my education to go to. I still had 2 more years after that year I was reading them, so I had to went back, and of course I went backpacking and that, and of course I've been to like UK sometimes too, and mainly for I met Trevor on the internet and that type of things. He came first to me in Sweden, and then I traveled back there, and then we've been sometimes over to UK too together and met friends over there too. So, hmm, you're not a stupid American. I think you are a very smart American, Janet. At least when you compare with a lot of other Americans sometimes. So I shouldn't call you stupid. Hmm. So yeah, it's a bit funny that thing, a little that thinking that. But I guess as long as you're satisfied with your life, do you really need to travel if you have all the good locations and things around you? So maybe you're happy to stay where you are. And we actually do a lot of harm on the nature too when we travel by aircraft too. So it's a both side of the thing too. But of course, some people are a little more want to travel, want to see more of the world, learn about other cultures, other countries, and that type of things too. So, and of course, then there are the stupid people that travel too, that just go there and destroy things for others and make the people in those countries angry when it comes to tourism, that type of things, and that's why they started having those tourist fees and other things going on. I think that's harsh too, to think that you can do whatever you want when you are in a foreign country. So, oh, and restricted in what way, Janet? Because we can have different things in mind when it comes to that type of things. I know that the US is very big and they have different areas too. Some are easier to live in, and other places are much harder to be at least a free-minded person that wants to do a lot of other stuff and have a bigger plan of life. So, so what type of restriction or restricted were you thinking of? Mm. Didn't miss anything. No. See what's that? Hmm. Yeah, but I think all countries have some type of restrict things going on too. It depends on where you are too, and the people that you are together with, and that type of things too. So I think it depends, and it depends on the person you are to how open you are for new things. Hmm. Did you meet the love in the Canary Island? Was that the reason why you moved to there, Nikki, or was it something else? Wonder what that was. Did you hear that? Hmm. I hope it was nothing serious because it sounded like a bang. Huh, it is some bang. Hmm. I hope it's just fireworks, but you never know. We have those gangs too. Yeah, it's fireworks. I can hear the other sound too, so at least that. But they shouldn't do fireworks right now because it's not allowed to do it. You need to have permissions even when it comes to New Year's Eve and that type of thing. So I don't even understand why they do it. I don't know if they have something to do with Ramadan or something. I'm not sure. But I know that this gonna frustrate Trevor that is trying to take a nap for sure because if I can hear it, he definitely hear it too. Ah, you met in Denmark and both moved to Canaries. Oh, that was interesting, Nikki. Uh, but have any one of you some heritage from Canaries, or is that just you decided to move over there of some reason? Uh, Yeah, there's been some banks somewhere, so I don't know if this has to do with some Ramadan type of celebration something. I know that Ramadan started for some days ago. I'm not sure how long it lasts for because I'm not that into how that works. So and then you split. Yeah, but I think you probably made a good choice too because I guess it's another type of climate too if you don't like some type of weather too, and if you're used to Canary Island and learn this language over there too, so I guess it might be a better life for them, at least for the most people, especially when you're getting older. So ah, so no roots from there then in some French, but I guess you are together with someone that is from the Canary Island then, because I heard you speak Spanish with someone, so well, and I think you have some when you film when you even spoke in Spanish with kids or something, if I remember right. Mm. At least you know about the traditions over there, then, Janet. So we have some Muslims at work too, but hopefully not too radical ones. Like I said to other people, I can respect different believings and that type of things as long as you don't force them on others or do any harm for other people. So then you can have what you believe in too. I'm not Christian either, so and that's great. That's great, Nikki. At least it's great to see that things can work for a longer time too. I've not really been that lucky at some of the things too. I still have some issues with my ex that I can't get rid of. So, and that annoys me too when I try to get everything sorted, and that is still a bit I can't make a closure on. So, and I can't really do much about it. And he's a narcissist too. So, I just have to try to live my life with travel instead. Your son is nearly 16. Oh dear. I'm not sure when do they move out from Spanish home on the Canary Island, or is it that they'll stay for a very long time? I know that it can be different from some type of countries, especially if you have a son. I think in Italy and that type of countries, it's very usual that they have the grown-up sons still living in the family home, and it's very hard for the girlfriends to actually be better than the mom when it comes to the cooking and that type of things too. So, so and plus I follow some of those people that have an Italian partner, but they now live in the US. So, but it's very interesting to see the difference in the view of life when it comes to different parts of things too, especially when it crashes into one type of person and they have their own traditions with and thoughts about things and how it should work, and maybe even more polite than their type of old-fashioned polite, not in a bad way, but in a way that some modern people that are more rude and that type of things can't understand because they think they're doing right, but they are really rude against other people, whilst those people are so much more polite and old-fashioned and want to do it in the correct manner. If you know the difference, it's not old-fashioned in that type of things like some politicians want the world to be. So yeah, who's the norm? I definitely not, and I shouldn't want to be that either. So I'd rather be the person I am and hope that people gonna like me for the person I am too. So I shouldn't want to defend my opinions. Uh, I just want people to show the same respect I show respect back in that type of case. I can respect the most people as long as they respect me back too and not force me to things that is breaking a lot of stuff too or think they are more worthy than me because I don't believe in the same type of things. Because I don't believe in that type of behavior either. So I think that's just gonna make more difficulties to actually live together in a world that we should be able to live side by side. So, so what do you want to talk about? Hmm, is there something special people want to talk about? I don't know. One day I'm gonna have to have we're gonna be like at least two persons doing a live stream because it's much more easy to keep something going even if people not writing to you directly in the chat. At least I don't have any rude comments in this one, so I'm happy for it too. At least I haven't seen any when I have looked up what the chat is saying, so I'm happy for that. So hopefully the rude people is not awake or not even online. At least I'm not on my live stream, so I'm happy for that. I only have the good people here, so I'm happy for that. And I had some of my regulars too. Even Star was here for a little while, but I don't think Star is still here. Maybe busy with the kids and everything, and still not 100% well after this hospital staying. So we have to see. Try to watch out, and it's just grey weather. It start to be a bit foggy too, so gonna see what type of weather we are expecting. But like I said, it's not much snow and ice left now, so most are gone. So hopefully spring is coming. At least I hope that because tomorrow is March, and I don't want to have more winter, and I don't want to have all this darkness that we have during the winter time. I want to have at least the sunlight, not like it is in the most time of the winter. It's dark when you go to work. It's dark when you're getting home. So at least it's light now, so I can see the roads when I travel. But it sucks most of the winter when everything is dark and dull, and it feels like everything you just do is being in the darkness when you're not at work, and then you're working the rest of the time, and then you sleep when you're not awake. So you know what I mean, when everything's just dark everywhere. So it's great to see that actually spring might be coming, and see the nature wake up, and when all the leaves start coming on the trees, and flowers, and more animals, more birds. It's raining again. Yeah, but sometimes it can be good for rain too, because the nature needs a lot of rain. And like I said, even during the winter, we had when we didn't have much snow, they still warned for dry grounds and risk of fires because of the conditions. So water is something the nature needs too, but it needs sun too and some heat too to make other things to work. So, but of course, we want some nice weather too in between too. So the most optimal should be that the rain is coming when we're not awake, and then we can just go out and enjoy everything. So I guess, but people are awake at different times during the hours too. So I guess you can't get everyone satisfied no matter what. So we should decide which time it should rain in that type of case if we live different lives. So, but yeah. But I think I'm gonna start ending this live stream because it's soon time to start with the food and that type of thing. So, and yeah, I don't think it's gonna be any more live stream this week at least. I'm not sure it's gonna be next week either. So, but we have to see. We never know if I don't have anything to do. So don't complain, Sig. We had snow every day for a very long time too, so I'm not sure which one is the best. Have very cold weather too, and snow on top on that, and ice. So everything have their plus and minus. And my town, uh, when it's not snowing, it's very rainy too. So I know the feeling. I know the feeling to live where it's raining a lot. So So yeah, but I think it's gonna be time for me to end this stream, and I hope everybody stays safe, stay weird, and be nice to each others. And love you all. And thanks for watching. And gonna wait little seconds on this stream before I end this because I know that the YouTube is gonna cut off the end. So I'm gonna sit here silent and maybe just show my crafting for you before I finished. Have a good day, and thanks for watching.